What is up, guys? It is Carolina Jackpot in the house this afternoon. I know I'm on the wrong channel. I'm over here on Rockabilly 864 channel. Don't worry, I asked for permission to use this platform so I could do this video. Y'all know it's me. I decided to come over here and make this video on this channel for a couple of reasons, because I want to talk about something that's kind of serious, and my regular Carolina Jackpot channels for the college football stuff really don't like to stray too far away from that topic because it kind of messes the algorithm up. We talked about politics over there on that channel. I've tried to get away from doing any of that also. And also because I'm trying to get this channel monetized, and I'm almost there. I almost have the number of watch hours that I need to get this one monetized as well. Carolina Jackpot channel has been monetized for about 8-10 years, I think. But this one's just about to get there. So maybe this will help push it over the top. I don't know. Maybe you'll find my story interesting. But it's something that happened to me a week ago and has been weighing heavily on my mind. And I'm trying to make a decision as to what I need to do going forward. So I've made this video earlier this week. I made it on Monday, and it ended up being like 40 minutes long. So that's way too long. Nobody's going to watch a video for 40 minutes. So I figured I would clean it up and try to come up with a more concise version here. So hopefully we'll cut this in half, if even less. So I moved away from my home that I was living in for the past 11 years at the time in November. Moved out from my significant other's house and stayed with a family member for a few months. It turns out that wasn't going to last. Not as long as I thought it was going to. I wanted to live where I was at for 6 to 8 months, maybe a year, so I could just stack some money, pay a nominal fee for household expenses, and just stack money. But I wasn't able to do that because my family member didn't like my dog, and there was just a whole bunch of other issues there. Don't need to dive into any of that stuff. So I said, Abe, I'm going to buy a house or I'm going to rent someplace. Well, rent here in the upstate of South Carolina can be, for the size of home or apartment I was looking for, it'd be somewhere close to $1,700, maybe more, maybe a little bit less, depending on, you pay more than that, you're going to upgrade and get a better product. You pay less than that, you're going to get less than. I didn't like any of them because I just think that the prices to rent things is just way too high. I understand it's driven by the market value, but I really don't care. That's too much to put into something that you're not getting anything out of. Now, there are cases when you need to rent, and those are case-by-case basis, but I didn't really have to. I wanted to try to get a place that was close to where one of our warehouses is that we pull our products out of, because getting home and going to our warehouse to load up product every day can be extremely stressful when you've got a lot of traffic to sit behind, and then you've got a long drive back home, like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, which is what I've been doing for about the past 3 years. So we have 2 warehouses that we pull out of. One's in the Duncan Greer area up near Spartanburg County. The other one is in the Anderson area. We're in South Carolina too, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Some people, most of you do, but somebody from out of town might be watching. So I started looking at houses, and the homes in the Anderson area were much more affordable than the ones in the Greenville, Spartanburg area, and then the area surrounding that. So I found a house that I liked that was somewhere in my price range, and it was a place I could put a nice size down payment on and have a payment that was very affordable. In fact, the payment was so affordable that I can almost afford to make double monthly payments if we're having some good sales weeks. If not, I could still afford to make a payment and a half whenever it comes due, which is a good thing. And I settled on this spot, zoned in on it, decided that was the only one that I was going to really look at, other than, well, there was two other places I looked at, but one of them was a little bit too expensive for what it was, and the other one I just didn't like. So I went on ahead and purchased it. Now, this home that I bought, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's in an old mill village. Now, the old mill is actually not far from where I live at, but it's not there anymore. It's been gone for years. All that's there is like a old concrete pad. I would say it was probably torn down in the 1980s or sometime. But it's an old mill house, but it's been flipped. Totally redone, new floors, new kitchen, new ceilings, new everything. Even the driveway's new. They even poured a new one of those. Put up a new fence outside. So it's not a bad looking place. It's got brand new appliances in it too, which is great. And it's affordable. And it's not far from where my warehouse is. Everything should be good. And everything was pretty good up until the past couple of weeks. And it seems like when people have gotten out of school is when the dumb shit is starting up. Now, I'll just go on ahead and tell you, the area I live in has a lot of potential, but it's not the greatest area in the world. Or it's not the worst. My neighbor across the street's been there for over 20 years. She works, she takes care of her shit, she's a nice person, no problems. Got a Hispanic couple who lives on the corner. They've been there 15 years. Nice, take care of their shit, work, no problems. On down this way, there's some hoodlums down there. A couple that kind of gets into it all the time, like especially out on the front porch, yelling and screaming at one another. I heard them yelling at each other Saturday night at 3 o'clock in the damn morning. I mean, yeah, it was loud enough to where from 4 or 5 houses down, it woke me up. At any rate, the only other thing I can really say that had been a drawback to some of these, seedy characters, you'd see people, homeless people walking by ever so often, but they never bothered me. I'd never done anything out of the way. Only other thing that really, really chaps my ass is there's this older black guy. He might be about my age, maybe he's a little younger, maybe a little older. I'm sorry, yes, he's a black guy, okay? Don't get mad at me for saying that. We're just gonna call it for what it is. I thought at first this guy's on drugs. It's because of the way he was acting. This is what I see. This is every day. And it usually, I think, starts probably in the afternoon sometimes. I don't really especially know because I ain't there because I'm working most of the time. But he will be outside. Let's say, because I've seen him on Saturday do the same thing. He will be outside at 1 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, 7 in the evening, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the evening, sometimes even as late as 3 o'clock in the morning, talking to himself, having a whole ass conversation with an individual that is not even there. I have sit here because I sit on my back porch a lot and I watch over the fence because he likes to hang out in the entrance to the old mill. He will talk loudly, using a lot of profanity. I know, Carolina Jackpot, you cuss during the football games, whatever. This guy's cussing every other word that comes out of his mouth. It's just craziness. And he's not talking to anybody. I've watched him have a conversation with the devil. I also watched him have a conversation with Jesus. I watched him talk to his homeroom teacher. I've watched him sing Garth Brooks songs. Now, some of this can be mildly entertaining, but after so long a period of time, it gets on your damn nerves. And you don't want to see it anymore. I don't know if he's really, 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 really bad into the drugs or if he has a mental issue. Neither one are good. I kind of lean towards the mental issue because I never see him not acting like this. if he was on drugs, it seems like at some point I would see him and it'd be acting normal, and he would like come off of it for a little while. But once again, I'm not an expert in either field. Don't plan to be. I even saw him at one point about a month ago at 3 o'clock in the morning out in the middle of the street near my house, just yelling. So, needless to say, I didn't do my due diligence before I bought this house. I looked at it. I saw it for what it was. It was the winter time. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of crazy shit going on. And my neighbor across the street told me the area was fairly safe, and she doesn't ever have any problems with anybody. And she probably doesn't. Fast forward now to about 2 weeks ago, I think that it was, maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm sitting on the back porch one evening, and it's about the time when it's starting to get dark. And it was either 2 or 3 streets over, probably about 3 streets over, I hear car tires just screaming down the street. And whoever is in the passenger seat, I'm assuming, because I didn't see them, is just popping off a pistol. Bam, 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 bam. Just driving down the damn road, just firing a damn gun off. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? Never heard any more, didn't hear any more of it. Like I said, it was several streets away. But yeah, I kind of got an uneasy feeling with that one. And that really kind of made me feel a certain type of way. Then, I'm going to think that it was not this past Monday, last Monday, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard a couple of gunshots, about 3 houses down, 4 houses down. Not feeling good about that at all, either. Not feeling good at all about this by this point. Now, let's fast forward to this past Wednesday night, exactly 1 week ago. I was outside with my dogs on the porch again, the back porch, and I had done a food review somewhere, and I was out there. I edited it up on my phone, and I was out here playing with that, getting that finished up, doom scrolling on the internet or something. And it got to be just a little bit after 8, and we do our podcast at 9 o'clock. And it said, well, shit, it's about time for me to start getting ready for that podcast. I'm going here and plug my computer in, and I'll take my phone and plug it in, make sure it's charged up. Well, I had seen I just felt a weird vibe that evening when I was sitting out on the porch. I saw a couple of people just walk down the street I'd never seen before, but I didn't think anything of it. These people weren't bothering me, so whatever. I get inside the house, and I left my back door half open to the porch so my dogs could walk in. And I hear a couple of gunshots. And I'm like, what the heck? And I look outside the window. It was my living room windows right there. And here are 2 black dudes in solid white t-shirts, like the Fruit of the Loom type t-shirts like Josh Pate wears. 2 of them, same solid white t-shirt. Bam, 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 bam. I'm sitting here like, holy bam! I hit the damn ground. Hit the floor. In my living room. Scared the shit out of me. They're not shooting at me. I don't know what they're shooting at. They're shooting across my fence and over into a vacant lot that's back behind the other side of my fence. Now, I'd never seen anybody in this vacant lot. I never saw anybody else out there at the time, but I wasn't especially looking for them. My dogs all come inside. My first thought is them. I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Thank God, there you are. I start fumbling my phone. I called 911. Said, yeah. I said, I need a officer down here. It's like, got people out here shooting just into the night sky here for no apparent reason. I don't really know what's going on. So they come down. They meet me around behind the house. Asked me which way they went. I said, this way. They block off both sides of our street. Block it off up here at the intersection. Block it off down here where the next street comes in. Cars turn long ways, police cruisers, with the lights on. Got the They come out shining their flashlights. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know if they're looking for a drug bag or, shell casings. Not really sure. But they were out there for probably almost it was a good hour and a half they were out there. Because they were out there maybe a little bit longer than that, a little after 10 when we got off of our podcast. And they'd asked me on the 911 call, they said, if you have any problems, call us back. They're on the way. Do you want the officer to make contact with you? I said, yeah. Well, the only contact they made with me, someone's burning something down. The only other contact they made with me was when I was out back, when I opened up the gate, and I told them where the guys were, or which way I thought they went. Because I didn't really see them good, because after I hit the floor, like, they were out of sight, out of mind for me. I wasn't really worried about where they went. I was just worried about protecting myself. So they never came back. They finally, about 10, 15-ish or so, just left without ever coming making contact with me, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, they knew who made this 911 call, or the initial 911 call, if another one even was replaced, which I don't think it was. I think I was the only one who called this event in, because I may be the only one that gives a shit. I mean, I'm wondering, does this shit happen all the time? I haven't seen the neighbor across the street ask. But I'm thinking in the summertime, maybe it does with the dumb shit. Now, I wasn't in any imminent danger. They weren't anywhere near me. They had no idea I was there. I think maybe they had even waited at the corner of my house, maybe, until I left before they started coming out here and doing what they were doing. So it wouldn't hit me, thinking. But then again, I don't know they even give a shit. So here's my thing. This is not good, and I'm starting now to have some heavy buyer's remorse about this place that I'm in. I thought that if I came in, bought my house, it looks good, I'm taking care of it. They're flipping some other houses in the neighborhood. By the way, I was to say that they're flipping other houses, and some of them are totally finished, and they're for sale. But I haven't seen anybody buying any of them. I haven't seen those for sale signs come down. And I'm wondering, are they priced too high? Are people just not buying anything right now because of the war in Iran? Or are they not buying it because the area is shit and they know that and they don't want to be here? I'm really not sure. But you can chalk this up to me not really doing my due diligence when it comes to vetting this neighborhood and this area that I moved to. And now I don't know what I need to do. I'm kind of stuck paying a mortgage. It would be very difficult to put my house up for sale because I would have to move out and move into an apartment. I could possibly move back in with my ex for a while, but I mean, I don't really want to do that because number one, I mean, I moved out. We broke off our relationship. Unless we're back in a relationship together, I just don't know about that. Even though we have remained friends, I would have to find another place to go while I put it up for sale, which would be very difficult. Now, you can put it up for sale, but then at the same time, if somebody buys it, then boom, you got to go and you got to find yourself somewhere to go. So I don't really know what I need to do at this point in time, or if I should just ride it out. If I should just ride it out, say, hey, it's just a one-off. Let's see if it ever happens again. If not, then let's just rock and roll. Let's continue to stay here because I've kind of even put off my college football studio. Kind of put off putting the TV mounts up and doing all that stuff that I was going to do, putting shelves up for my helmets, because I'm like, should I be really putting holes in the wall and if I'm going to sell this place and leave after a year because I don't like the area? A lot of stuff to think about. And it's very disappointing to me that this place has turned out like that, but I mean, I can't make all the changes to a place. It could possibly get better, but it would probably be over years that would happen. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do at this point, but ask yourself that. That's what I was making this video for, was the whole point of it. What would you do in this situation? This is an odd deal. You can always, if you make a mistake, you can always do something to try to fix your mistake or mitigate it as much as possible, but I want to do something that doesn't end up costing me an arm and a leg, because I don't have an arm and a leg to give at this point. I put a lot of money into the down payment, and I don't have money for another down payment on another place, not at this point in time anyway. So that's about where we're at with that. I would appreciate any feedback. Maybe something like this has happened to you before. Maybe it's happened to somebody that you know. What do you think, and what would you do in this kind of situation? Let me know. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.